Huge news for Bethesda, and believe it or not, it has nothing to do with how poorly Starfield is being received by everyone who plays it. More games, more announcements, more big stuff.
Did you know that Bethesda just dropped a totally new Elder Scrolls game? Yeah, it's not exactly what you'd think, but Bethesda seemed to have a variety of...
A mobile game from Bethesda based on an IP that so many people love? I actually completely expected this. I'm not even surprised. Bethesda is, at best, currently the equivalent of a mobile game designer in quality-wise. So, why not just make mobile games if that's literally the peak of your creativity, character creation, storytelling, and, world building. At least they're not gonna fail this horribly.
secret projects going on right now, several of which are expected to drop this year and perhaps even some this week. But first, we have to highlight some of the recent departures from Bethesda. Earlier this week, it was announced that both Pete Hines, the head of publishing, and Will Shen, lead designer on Far Harbor and Starfield, have left Bethesda.
Yeah, we have heard about that. Oh no, the people who made Starfield are leaving Bethesda. How will Bethesda make shitty games now? Man, it's gonna be a challenge with all these losers leaving Bethesda. Oh boy. Yeah, wow.
Bethesda Game Studios. These are some incredibly high up members at the company, so many have been wondering, is this related to the evolving reception of Starfield? And to pretty quickly answer that, no, almost certainly not. Pete Hines retiring is not shocking at all, and the timeline makes a ton of sense as well. Lots of the higher ups at Bethesda likely had some kind of stock option, so when Microsoft bought ZeniMax, they likely got a decent payout for their shares. And
yes. That is normal.
Oftentimes what follows here is there's going to be an agreement for some of the top names to stay on a few years to manage the transition, or in this case, oversee the
Yes, that's actually also common, yes.
release of their massive new game. Pete Hines is just retiring, riding off into the sunset after a hugely successful 24 years in gaming, and Will Shen is likely just leaving to work.
I mean, it kind of depends on what you quantify as success, honestly. Did he make a lot of money? Yes. Did he also make, unironically, Starfield? Yes. So, is that success or failure? He did get paid, but his legacy is, well, the greatest, one of the worst games in existence.
Somewhere smaller or just do something fresh. He stayed on to see the release of Starfield and is now moving on to something new, working actually with the project lead of Fallout 76, or the previous project lead of the game. So as for some of the speculation that these departures are somehow a reaction to Starfield, to me that just seems unfounded and doesn't really make a ton of sense. Regardless.
Yeah, that's true. They made Fallout 76 and no one cared. No one got even punished for that. They just added microtransactions in and called it a day, and most likely they're considering Fallout 76 one of the greatest things ever. Still have 50 hours roughly in that game, compared to 8 in Starfield. Yo. Dude, when you have more than 5 times game time in something like Fallout 76, but you can't even stomach 9 hours of Starfield, that is crazy. That is absolutely crazy.
Of the Starfield review score on Steam, it's still one of the most played games on Xbox and has the largest launch in Bethesda history. There really hasn't been...
You know why it's the one of the most played games on Xbox? I'll share a secret. That's because everyone is gaming on PS5, even though it's also shit. But that's because everyone who actually wants to play video games is doing that on a PS. There's no point in owning an Xbox to play games. All of the Xbox games suck.
There really hasn't been anything to suggest that Starfield is a failure, but there has been a ton of data to suggest it is a financial success. But yeah, what is going on with this new Elder Scrolls game? Well, a couple of weeks ago, Bethesda Game Studios, yeah, not just Bethesda, but
Is this just Elder Scrolls version of Fallout Vault, or whatever it's called, the mobile game? I wouldn't be surprised.
Specifically Todd Howard and co.
Oh, it is. It is. Okay.
dropped Elder Scrolls Castles on the Google Play Store. This is seemingly in a somewhat open but very limited beta, so they let in a limited number of players, and if you got in, you can play, but of course, the beta is now full. It's a pretty interesting game, basically Fallout Shelter with some new mechanics all themed around the Elder Scrolls.
That's pretty bold if you juice hit to say new mechanics. Knowing Bethesda, this is just slightly reskinned mechanics and nothing new. Probably 2 steps backward, honestly. That's really bold to say that this game has new mechanics.
It has many of the familiar Fallout Shelter mechanics, like base building and training up your subjects to build a strong army, but also a more unique dynasty component so you could dictate how rulers evolve over time. And it of course features many of the familiar races and characters from the Elder Scrolls series in a
Catgirls.
A pretty interesting art style. And the interesting part about this is it makes a ton of sense.
Okay, so they went for the most generic art style possible to save money. Okay. I mean, yeah. It is what it is, boys. It is what it is. Also, what the hell is... Wait, did I just see that? Was there something on my beard? I need to shave my beard. I look like an absolute neckbeard now. Look at this. Pathetic.
Like, I don't think anyone's shocked that the wildly successful Fallout Shelter was also adapted to the Elder Scrolls. It just makes sense financially. The bizarre part about this is the lack...
The only thing that Bethesda does now is just make sense financially, not actually game design-wise.
...of acknowledgement. As far as I can tell, there's been no official comment or announcement to mention this game anywhere. It just got listed on the Google Play Store one day, and now it's been that way for several weeks with a couple thousand people playing. We've heard in the past...
Well, at the bare minimum, we didn't get a Bethesda. Do you not have phones situation? At the bare minimum, Todd Howard saved us from that. God bless you, Todd. You are a true hero. You make everything worse, but still somehow you make it better.
Asked how Fallout Shelter was the most played Fallout game ever, and literally just using that same...
It's a mobile game. It's a mobile. It's a mobile game.
Formula for the.
It's also actually probably a 5 times most lucrative game that Bethesda has also released, unironically.
More popular Elder Scrolls makes sense. As of right now, the developer is just listed as Bethesda Game Studios, but in all likelihood, a third party was contracted to work on this game, just like what they did with Fallout Shelter. Although that isn't all, as I highly suspect that we could be getting at least 1, but maybe even 2 surprise drops from Bethesda Game Studios, and maybe even as early as this week. Fallout 4 is still slated to get a next-gen update in 2023. This was randomly announced last year in the middle of a larger article, and in that we learned that this was going to be a free update to Fallout 4. It's going to contain bug fixes, FPS improvements.
Bug fixes? Do you mean Bethesda's gonna add more bugs? I have never heard of a situation where Bethesda fixes bugs and doesn't introduce more bad bugs. I'm pretty sure this is what the modding community of Bethesda is literally based on.
Quality improvements for 4K, and perhaps most exciting, bonus Creation Club content, so likely some new pieces of content will get added. The bonus Creation Club content is exciting as this could be somewhat substantial. We've seen how with Skyrim Anniversary Edition, Bethesda had a ton of Creation Club content backlogged, because while the last Creation Club release was in late 2019, many of the Creation Club members continued working on things even after that into 2021. So as far as I know, they have paid for and completed Creation Club content that was just sitting there. That came out with...
What the hell is this? I thought my screen froze for a second.
Skyrim Anniversary Edition, I imagine some of that's coming out here with the Fallout 4 Next Gen patch. Plus, if Fallout 4 could finally natively support above 60 FPS, that'd be pretty awesome. And even a couple of new bug fixes.
And Fallout 4 still seems like a masterpiece compared to 76. Well, not 76, but Starfield. Wow. Man, Bethesda just gets sadder and sadder. Every time I hear someone trying to drum up that hype about Bethesda and what they are doing, it's just like, they're not saying the good things that could come. They're saying, this is not as bad as you think, guys. Yeah, it's kind of shitty and it is as bad as you think, but it's not that bad. Because imagine, it could be worse. It could be worse. That's like the maximum hype about anything Bethesda nowadays. Hey guys, look at this. Yeah. How do you like that? It's shit. It's shit. What are you gonna do about it? At least be happy we didn't make it worse. That's the maximum hype about anything Bethesda. People unironically are commenting constantly how fearful they are of Elder Scrolls 6 after seeing what Starfield is. Because Bethesda just can't do anything right, can they? Honestly.
Fixes. Many of the old Fallout 4 bugs were fixed for Fallout 76, so getting some of those fixes carried over to Fallout 4 would be great. So the next-gen patch in general sounds like a cool thing for the game, but where on earth is it? The only time this is officially mentioned was the original article from October 24th, 2022. Basically,
by the way, this is not bad gameplay. I remember this quaddy place. It's actually super annoying.
1 year ago.
It's really high level mobs, I think. Because I was a max stealth character, and they still really found me like instantly after one shot, which was blatantly strange.
Other official comment I've seen for this is from Pete Hines on Twitter a couple of months ago. When asked about the update, he says, "Dunno if you've heard, but we're shipping a new game in 3 weeks. Bit of a priority. When we have an update, we'll share it." This, of course, referring to the upcoming launch of Starfield, because apparently asking about this free update that they announced 10 months earlier than when Radio Silent on was deserving of a snarky response. We're not allowed to ask questions about that. But funny enough, I think Pete Hines did kind of give us the answer here. The Fallout 4 Next Gen update has seen...
He just missed 3 shots in the slow motion. He's playing on controller, isn't he?
...been progressing and getting work done all throughout 2023.
Yeah, this is controller movement right there. Disgusting.
On Steam, several new branches for Fallout 4 have been made and have been getting consistently...
By the way, just the fact that you can't properly aim with a controller... Do you know how much game developers need to dumb down the game and just make it worse in general? Because the reality is you can't make anything complicated in anything controller related. Because it just simply does not have the precision. You will never acquire enough precision with a controller to even remotely stand on almost the same continent as a mouse. As a super cheap mouse that's barely working anymore, you know, with the rolly wheel, and it's not good. Yeah. How much they need to dumb the game down just because of consoles is insane.
Updated, including every day this past...
Admittedly, don't get me wrong, Starfield would be still shit if it, wasn't on consoles.
Something is definitely going on here, and this is how we got that New Vegas 2 listing earlier in the year. And although development was ongoing, it's very likely that QA wasn't. As previously described by Microsoft, all of the QA at the company, including Bethesda, was working on getting Starfield ready for launch. So despite developers being able to work on the next-gen update, it seems like it wasn't able to be tested, at least not at the time. But now, of course, many of those QA workers are freed up, and the update is likely in testing right now. And the most likely time for us to learn more is literally this week.
What is this hardcore?
Monday is October 23rd, aka Bombs Drop Day. That's the day the bombs dropped in the Fallout universe. Bethesda typically has some celebrations around this time. It was actually how we got the announcement of the next-gen update in the first place last year. So I have to imagine we're going to be learning something new this week. Perhaps a trailer or announcement for the update, or even just a surprise drop of the update for Fallout 4. But my bet is we get a teaser showcasing some of the new features with a release date of November 10th to commemorate the 8th anniversary.
Yeah, this is not... Oh, he has a lot of bullets in the hunting rifle. Okay, this is not the place you should probably be in Fallout 4 if you're a low level.
Of Fallout 4. And depending on what Bethesda's ready to showcase, this could become a mini event just like it was last year. We just recently covered the leaked Fallout TV show teaser that was shared during Gamescom after a short presentation of...
Yeah, that people unanimously are pretty much calling trash, honestly. Same here, because there's no... They're gonna fail. There's no shot that they make this right.
Starfield, and just recently in one of the latest Fallout 76 updates, some tie-ins to the Fallout TV show were found, so perhaps all of this could be teased in some way to go along with the Fallout 4
pay-to-win content
or next-gen update. As of right now, we know the Fallout TV show isn't coming until 2024, but it wouldn't be that crazy for another short teaser to come out, or even for this teaser to release properly. But somehow that still isn't all, because we also have all of the Skyrim updates.
What is this?
next year, how it seemed like Bethesda had some plans for a paid mod like
I mean, I like it because it's short and it got destroyed, but still, what is that? A gremlin?
system to return to Skyrim. And to build that up, we've heard rumblings from past Creation Club members how something like this was coming. Skyrim has also been getting daily updates on SteamDB for a while now. This happened also before Skyrim Anniversary came out. And perhaps most evident of all, in the Starfield EULA, there are
Is he talking to him while some kind of battle is happening?
listings for these new creation credits.
Makes sense.
Not Creation Club credits like they were called previously, no, something new with creation credits. And Starfield even has in-game purchases listed in the ESRB.
Yes, we know. I am still of the firm opinion that at some point Starfield is going to have a battle pass and all that pay-to-win goodness. They're just waiting until everyone has, they see who's left. They see that the desperate, decrepit are only left, and then they'll absolutely milk them, probably.
Rating. In all likelihood, Bethesda is planning a return to paid mods as a parallel to the free mods
Obviously.
in Starfield. This likely using the Minecraft marketplace-like model where the storefront is more free form. Creators can freely post and set prices while Bethesda just takes a revenue share. And I mean, why not try it out on Skyrim first before you bring it to Starfield? Skyrim still has tons of players. It's not like any new Elder Scrolls games are coming out.
True. That's so insane, though. That this game is this old and there's this many absolutely out of their mind fanboys still playing. Because this just shows how powerful the Bethesda fanboyism is. And by the way, this also shows how bad Starfield is. Because this number is not even double currently, okay? Starfield, a completely new game without any competitors released in the same month, can't even double this number currently. That's how sad it is.
Anytime soon, unless you count castles. Plus, paid mods as a monetization strategy would work super well with Bethesda's future plans. Remember all of those remasters that leaked from the big Xbox FTC leak?
Nice.
Well, those become a lot more lucrative if you could support them by microtransactions with paid mods. So now here, I'm not saying this is going to be good for us players, but I could definitely see why Microsoft would be happy to go this route. And I mean, they literally did it already after buying.
If the paid mod exists, do you think Bethesda will ever fix a bug? I think they're just gonna release games, not even at already the unfinished shitty state they are usually on, but even in a worse state.
Mojang with Minecraft. And I honestly think this could just be suffering from the same problem as the Fallout 4 Next Gen update. All of the QA was on Starfield, so nobody was available to test the new paid mod shop for Skyrim. If Bethesda does have some announcements for the Fallout Anniversary, I would imagine that there's going to be something about the Skyrim update or new system, just like what they did with Skyrim Anniversary Edition a few years prior. And that still isn't all, as it was also just revealed that a Magic the Gathering Fallout crossover is coming. With all
Yay. Yay, I'm so happy.
that said, yeah, Bethesda has been busier than most of you probably realized, releasing a completely new game and perhaps releasing major updates for some of their other titles in a very short time span. If you are interested in
this is crazy.
more Bethesda content, check out this video where I show you some of the best new mods to come to Starfield.
Well, that was Juicehead. What a time to be alive. Crazy update. Dude, I mean, I still want a new Fallout game and whatnot, so, it is what it is. Fallout is the only thing that Bethesda probably can succeed in writing because, they need to be bad to write a proper Fallout series, Good writing doesn't work in Fallout because the Fallout world follows not even the single... doesn't follow even the slightest bit of logic. Dude, think about Fallout 4. Is there a single faction that's goals make fucking sense? No. Well, probably the Minutemen. All they want to do is just unite the the Commonwealth. They just want to unite the Commonwealth and, live peacefully. The Institute wants to be, unseen, but at the same time they find it reasonable to assault and destroy settlements. The Railroad is a bunch of freaks who only care about sins because nothing else bad is happening in the world, and sins are the most top priority, but they ignore every other atrocity that happens in the Commonwealth. The Brotherhood I haven't actually ever completed the Brotherhood campaign. I hate the Brotherhood. But they're pretty stupid because making a flying zeppelin is just so stupid, okay? It's not practical, it's not useful, it's dumb. It's very, very dumb, okay? One rocket launcher is gonna blow that thing out of the sky. Zeppelins were not made to be battleships. Wow. Amazing. Anyway, this was Quizzer Sid said. Thanks for watching. Subscribe if you haven't already. Have a nice day. Bye-bye.